So we're trying to beat the heat and go for a walk. And it'd be nice if you came along with me. So we've driven over here to Shawnee Park, where we've been multiple times, but we haven't visited. I don't think I've recorded anything on these trails here that we're about to walk on. I don't think we'll do the whole loop. Actually, I might have done the lower part of this, so we'll do the upper part of it. Plus, I want to see how the demolition of the smokestacks is going. So let's do that. So, come on, Dakota. This goes that way. I think we've gone that way before. So we're going to come up this way. This goes up this hill. Come on. And then runs along the top of this ridge. There's a, to the right over here, you can't see anything but undergrowth. There's a sort of bowl that is a woodland wetlands that they're preserving back in here. And Dakota's gonna lead the way through here. Now up here one time, we scared up 3 turkeys and scared the living crap out of me because they waited until we were about 15 feet away before they just blew into the air. And they take off a lot like a grouse or I guess pheasants, but pheasants aren't as loud. Grouse are really loud. Just this thunderous up into the air, and of course they're just gigantic on top of everything else. Wild ones aren't as big as domestic ones are, but they're still really large birds. And then it's usually during the winter that we seem to run into these things. I remember one winter I was up here with her. Luckily, I had her leashed. There must have been 20, maybe even 24 deer in one herd. I'd say about a third of them were bucks, fairly young bucks, but still, it was a ton of them that were just right down there. That's the woodland area. There's really right now the only sounds of civilization are somebody running a lawnmower back in that subdivision. It's 85 degrees right now. It's supposed to get up to 96. Didn't check to see what 85 degrees is in Celsius, but I want to say it's 20. No, yeah. Wait, would it be? No, don't know. 20, 28 maybe? 29? I'll have to look. Anyway, this just keeps going up, and we keep getting further above. Now you can kind of see now down there where when it rains, the water comes up, and it lasts for a week or two, then it goes down. Usually during the winter, there's enough water. Actually, there is standing water down there. Pretty stagnant from the looks of it. We've only had a little bit of rain this week, which is nice. The trails are fairly beaten down. I think I'll go to Jefferson Memorial tomorrow. Maybe try to do one of the 7 miles. There's a really hard one called Scott's Gap that I did years ago. And it was a butt kicker. My stepson was busy at the first part of it trying to run with my dog Banjo, who of course would run ahead 50 yards and then run behind us 50 yards and then run ahead 50 yards. And Clover just kept running back and forth with him. And no, we're not going to go that way. We're going to go this way. Yeah, it's a little bit of muck here, but I don't think I spoke too soon. Anyway, I warned him. I said, you cannot keep up with that dog. You're going to wear yourself out. And sure enough, we got about 3 miles into it, and he started having that sort of haggard look around his eyes, like, how long do we have? And it's like, this is like 7.5, 8 mile long hike. So, and I warned you. But it's the Scott's Gap one has a really serious change in elevation over the course of it. So we were already to the turnaround point. It's not a very long trail, but it's nice. That's where the boat ramp is, right over there. Come on, Dakota. Something just bit me. Well, I got bitten on the calf the other day, and there's still it hurt. Little red spot. Have no idea what, but it hurt and itched enough that I managed to put a scab on it. Kind of wonder if it was an assassin bug or something like that, because it was really painful. Like a little wasp sting or something like that. Who knows what it was? It was right where my shorts hit the back, the very, very top of my calf, and so that was doubly annoying. So yeah, we're actually backtracking down here lower. Haven't come down from up there, but this will come back out over where this wetland area turns back into a stream. Ow! Oh. Yeah, there's stagnant water, but down in there. Then that comes around, and just over here, it comes out onto the pathway. It's a nice little jog off to the side of the path that runs along the river down here. And I'm going to turn it off, and I'll take a look at the smokestacks, and then I'll bring you back. So yeah, then that goes back around, back up to where we went in. How much sand can you bring home with you? Oh, yeah. Throw this in. The towers are shrinking. Just chatted with a guy down there fishing. You please stop rolling in the sand. I guess I'm gonna have to give her a rinse when we get home. There was a dude sitting up here in his truck. I think I've mentioned this before, but I do not understand doing that. They come out here, and then they just sit up here at the top of the ramp with their windows rolled up, and their motor running. It's like, couldn't you do this in the shade on a street somewhere? I mean, if you can't be at your house in the air conditioning, why are you doing it out here? Of all the exposed places. So we're going to go down to the far end here. Keeping a lookout for bullet casings, since people come down here to shoot off fireworks. I didn't see any on the ramp back there, but I haven't seen any yet. All right, we're going to turn you off and walk down through here. Wait, what's that? There's one. It's been run over, but that kind of makes it even more interesting. Okay, I'll bring you back later. I've got bugs just eating me alive right now. Well, that was pretty exciting. It was a doe and 2 fawns up there. They've just run out of sight around the corner. Dakota kind of ran at him, but I yelled at her a couple times and she slowed down. But it's that time of year. 2 little babies. Well, we've got our first cicadas for this part of town. These are just the regular yearly ones, the kind of big guys. The 13 and 17-year ones are much smaller, and they've got really cool colors. I think the 17-year ones have like green, like really bright, like lime green in the wing veins and their eyes. And the 13-year ones are red, like really bright red, almost orange, in the same places. No, stay over here. Wow, they've come in here with a bush hog or something and cleared off the sides. This is, since the last time I was down here, this is all wide open now. We are, I don't know, probably about a third of the way along the edge of the park. We'll go up on the other side and walk down, walk through the park itself, see what's going on over there with the celebrations for this long weekend. It's actually surprisingly quiet today. I was kind of expecting to be hearing music and live stuff. Man, the flies are just biting me like crazy today. I've got like 2 bites on the back of my hand and one got me on my neck. So my hand itches. Well, there were 2 interesting birds singing, and they of course have shut up just as soon as I start recording. I think you heard just the tail end of the sort of there was, I just barely heard it, but there's a woodpecker slightly behind me, and up ahead there was something I have no idea what that was. But this is the end of the river walk. It's a few miles, maybe 2 along through here, 2.5. So if you go over here, there's a great big effluent valve hole, giant thing that opens up onto the river. It's kind of interesting that you can get down to the beach that way. The water was down just low enough to where there might be beach most of the way along through here, but in my experience, when it's narrow like that, there's lots and lots of sort of quicksandy areas. So we're gonna cruise up this way, go over the top of the levee up there, and head over to Northwestern Parkway and walk. We probably won't go as far as Northwestern Parkway at first, but that's our walk for today. It's a big patch of river cane, and Dakota, oh there she is. She likes to run up onto this ridge. I don't know what she's after. She found something to chase once many months ago, so she has to check and see if it's still here every time we come through here. We'll see. Will she cut off to the right and run up there? Or has she learned that it's not there anymore? Nope, she's not going to. She hasn't gotten super hot yet, but I'm glad we came out before noon for today's walk. Man, there's usually like a huge bunch of people here. Parked out barbecuing. There's always a guy here that's washing cars. They're just not out here today. How strange is that? I mean, every Saturday and Sunday, they're out here as a group. You want to go that side? So yeah, these were once all baseball fields. There's a football field there. It kind of feels though I've seen like pee-wee football being played out here, you know. Just people bring their chairs and sit along the sidelines. Yeah, how strange is this? And this is usually just full of cars and people hanging out. Oh, there's a little group. They're here every time. They've got a picnic table set up. So, all right, I'm gonna stop and come back. There's a hawk up in there somewhere. I don't know if that's a young one. It kind of sounds like a young one. There's a woodpecker. Nope, it's gone quiet now. What are you doing over there? Come on. Want to walk in the shade? Don't blame you. It's starting to heat up. It's not far back to the car. Come on. It's the great lawn. The little white object over there is the flagpole that I think I talked about last week. Light must have changed at Broadway. Broadway's behind us, and it's Northwestern Parkway over there. Great lawn, Shawnee Park trees. Come on, get that sand off of you. You big goof. I'm gonna stop here in the shade for a second, cool down. Come on, we're almost back to the car. Come on. It's a good girl. Let's go. Yeah, we gotta. Actually, we're not almost back to the car, but she doesn't know that. Of course, she doesn't have any idea what I'm saying. Don't know if you can see that. There's some very upset barn swallows, and I can tell you why. There. Dive bombing Dakota. Whoops. Come on, let's go. See if we can catch one of them doing it out here in the light. You gonna come at me? I guess they've decided we're safe. Nope. They're still tracking us. They were dive bombing the crap out of her though. They weren't quite hitting her, but she didn't even notice them. Come on. Oh, really? Because you're starving. All right, let's go across the road here and walk that way. It's kind of wild. We've got this whole park just pretty much to ourselves. I've seen, there were two guys over by the splash fountain there, and then there's a guy playing or practicing basketball over there, and somebody I can't see telling him he's doing good and telling him, I don't know, coaching him. Dude's ripped, so he must do this a lot. I'm sure he's glad to be getting this over with now before it gets too hot. Dakota is taking every opportunity she can to stop in the shade and roll around. Come on, dummy. We're going this way. We're not going that way. There's that great big gigantic lawn that I do not understand the purpose of. And she probably wants to go over there and chase her groundhogs, but we are going towards the car, which is over that way. This is actually, I think that was Southeastern Parkway that we were looking at before. This is Northeastern Parkway in front of us. It does a turn here, goes to the far side of this big field, and then that's Southeastern Parkway. There's a baseball field that actually gets use, and there's some more on the other side of where that car is driving. That cuts down to the wow, you cannot even see the yeah, just barely. Okay, I can see it just barely peeking above. What's left of the smokestack is over there. I mean, they used to be just an absolute landmark. I've noticed something with this phone. When you zoom, it zooms the microphone too, which is really interesting. I should test it sometime, but not today. Come on, Dakota. We're just about there this time. Oh, look, there are some people with a bouncy castle. Spoke too soon. Doesn't look like there's a ton of them though. Only seeing maybe half a dozen cars, not even. They've got it out of here on the sidewalk, so I'll go through the field. Okay, this is Northwestern Parkway here. I just looked at this empty lot, and I think they want $1.5 million for it. It's a good-sized lot, kind of a cool location, but geez, $1.5 million. So yeah, there's a car. Ooh, poof! Somebody's smoking something potent. Man, I cannot mistake that smell. This is a really nicely shaded sidewalk. I'm sure that Dakota is very, very happy about it. The car is all the way down to the left of the very end of this, under a tree. Somehow managed to snag the shade tree down there. Actually, it wasn't anybody parked down there. But there's nothing going on in the baseball things. I guess that starts up soon. I don't know, maybe it's on Sunday when they come out and do the little league stuff, but still the Pee Wee League is my favorite thing of all. So they've got no idea what they're doing, they're just out having fun. They kind of understand they're supposed to hit the ball and catch it and throw it, but there's no understanding of the game itself. I think I've mentioned that it's one of those, if I win the lottery, maybe I'll buy that thing. Daydreams. It's completely boarded up, has been as long as I've been in the city. Big building. Would be quite the cool house slash shop slash studio slash blah blah blah. That house is for sale. I think that one's like $250,000. Over there, that blue one. And then oh, there's a nice old roof. Let's take a picture of that. Close on it. So yeah, that roof is probably 125, 150 years old. If you just take minimal care of them, those folded metal seam roofs will last forever. It just always kills me to see when people have, oh, this one has one too. You'll see these where they've just hammered the seams down and then come over with shingles directly on top of them, which is just a disaster every time. The metal expands and contracts, and the wood expands and contracts at a different speed, and the asphalt shingles expands and contracts at yet another speed. So all the nails just wiggle their way up through the asphalt shingles over time. I have one of those that's 20 years old, you know, that had 40-year shingles put on it. That'll be 15 or 20 years old. Will just be everywhere you look. You'll be able to see nail heads sticking up. And if it wasn't for the asphalt remelting around them, they'd be leaking like a complete sieve. And they usually do have leaks. That's why I'm up on the roof looking at them. It's always exasperating because there's really, unless you build another surface on top of that old roof and then put new decking on top of that, you have to do a tear off. And to tear off those old, so the way that these things work, they nail down tabs where the seams are, and then the tabs stick up in the air, and when they put the sheets of metal together, the tab then gets folded when they fold over the edges of the sheets of metal, and they're really hard to take off because you've got to just basically peel them from the top down, and you got to pop all those nails, which are usually pretty damn big nails. And I feel like I talked to that dude the other day. He's over there walking his dog. But yeah, it could be. Alrighty, we're just about back to the car. Alright, this is the end of our walk. This is no, this is Southwestern Parkway. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Oh, someone with a big German Shepherd. The car is right over there. So, hey, thanks for coming on a walk with me. I'll see you next time.